Welcome to the Steve Davis Show. I'm Scott Coletti filling in today for Steve Davis. A lot of high school sports we're going to talk about here today. We're going to start with boys soccer, the 4A championship. It was St. Pius getting a bit of revenge against Albuquerque Academy, last year's champion. It was a 2-0 victory, that coming on Saturday at the UNM Soccer Complex. And the guy to talk about it is the head coach at St. Pius. That is AJ Herrera. And, Coach, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Well, I'll tell you what, I know how hard your team has worked, having seen a few of the matches this season. And this team, they, for some time, had a target on its back, but at the same time, you were also the hunters.
Yeah, that sounds about right. The group that we've had here for the last 3 years, we've been the number one seed in the tournament, and we've been performing at a very high level. And so that does bring a little bit of a target on your back, which is what we are fine with, and that's really the position that we always want to be in. And so as the hunters, though, I mean, that's kind of the approach that we like to take in the games. I mean, we had a team this year on the offensive end. We ended up plus 101 score differential. So teams were really having trouble keeping us out of the net. So yeah, just very grateful for the boys that were part of this team this year.
Yeah, 19-1-3 overall record, finished 8-0 in district, and you had some seniors who were going out with the championship, and you got some other guys who are going to be looking for another championship next season. And one of those guys, your leading scorer, Nico Reyes, he's been unbelievable since he came on board.
Oh yeah, Nico's been scoring goals for us since he was a freshman. He's, we don't like to really focus in on this, but I mean, he's on track to set some records here. When by the time he's done with this program, on the goal scoring end and also the overall points end. And so, yeah, we're excited to have an attacking player like that. And so when we have a guy that can score goals like Nico, it really opens things up for the rest of the guys as well. And we have, this year we've had a lot of talented attacking players. You look at the final this year, we've had the 2 goals were scored by Ethan Wright, who was a senior, and he scored a phenomenal goal to make it 2-0. And then, CJ, our defender, he's a defender, so he doesn't score many goals, but he's a beast in the air, so he scored a corner kick. But it's nice to have an attacking player like Nico that you can rely on to score a heck of a lot of goals in the season.
So 3 seniors going out: Didier Herrera, Mateo Sertan, and the guy that you just talked about, Ethan Wright.
And then David Bunnell, he's our goalkeeper. So we have 4.
Okay. I'm looking at the forwards and defensemen.
Right.
So yeah.
Right. So Ethan and Mateo, they're more attacking players. Didier is more of a defensive kind of minded player in the midfield, and then David is our goalkeeper. And so very happy for them. They get to go out with a bang, and they've been all smiles for the past 48 hours. That's for sure.
So how special is it to go out beating the team that beat you in PKs last year? You came so close a year ago. This year, I know the target was the blue trophy, and you achieved that. But it took a lot of hard work in the process. So talk a little bit about the journey.
It is not an easy tournament to win. So we've known that just based on our experience over the history of really St. Pius soccer. I mean, you look at all the championships that this school has. This was our 19th, and I like to reminisce with alumni, and the consistent memory is how tough these games are to win, especially in the championship against our rival, which is Academy. And so, coming off of a loss last year to Academy, that was very heartbreaking. We knew we were going to be right in the conversation from day one, and ended up 19-1-3. So, our record speaks for itself that we were the best team in 4A and one of the best teams overall in state, if not the best team overall in state. So, no matter the classification, but we knew it was going to be tough. The guys committed since day one, and just couldn't be prouder.
Well, you could put an argument about being the best in any class this year, Coach. And part of the reason is you had so many scores, but the thing that always impressed me is the defense and just the pressure that you put on other teams and really smothered them in their own end and didn't really allow them to get into the attacking zone. So it made it easy for your goalkeepers, but it also made it easy for the offense to get, on the attack very easy with counters and everything else.
Yeah, our defense played well. They played better and better over the course of the year, right? We gave up I think we gave up 15 goals on the year, which is pretty darn good. I mean, it's not what we had in 2023 when we set the school record with goals against. I think we had like 6 against us.
Hmm.
And so coming into the season, we knew we were losing uh, you know, our goalkeeper from last year, and then Frank Barella, and then we had Julian Lovato and Tim Dyson and Connor Bogart. There were 3 senior starters in our back line, so we had a very new defense this year. And so if you look at our defense this year, we had 3 sophomores. So Anthony Gustamontes, we got CJ. Christopher Justice is his full name. Santi Munoz, right? And then Landon Milshowski. Those are our 4 starters in the back. 3 sophomores and 1 junior, and then we had David Bunnell, the senior. And so there was some big question marks on our defense, right?
Mm-hmm.
The last 10 games of the season, we had 9 shutouts. And so I think that's what you're referring to, the great
Yes.
defense that we've been playing. And you know what they say, right? It's not how you start, it's how you finish. Well, our defense came to play over the last 10 games, including the state tournament.
And of course, as you know, the games that I did, defense was outstanding. Each and every
100%.
one of them.
100%. I'm not quite sure you saw a goal score on us this year.
I
When you
don't
when
think
you
I
when you
did
when
actually.
you
If
when you
I
covered our
might have
games,
seen one, but if I did, it was
maybe.
only one. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So you look at a game like we played on Saturday against the Academy in the state final. Of course, we jump out to a 2-0 lead and we're feeling really really good. And but we knew the Academy was not going to go home, without a fight. So there were a couple moments in the second half where our defense had to come up big. David came up with a huge save on a counterattack. We kept winning header after header in that game, from the back line and including our midfield. We got a couple guys that can win headers in our midfield. Diego Herrera and Kenneth Calderon are 2 of those individuals. Didier Herrera that are really good in the air. So
Hmm.
that all adds to our defensive success.
Now the season's over. Celebration is ongoing, Coach. We are talking with AJ Herrera, the head coach at St. Pius, the 4A boys state champion this season. And well, you're a coach. What's next?
Yeah, we're enjoying the moment. That's for sure. We have a lot of proud alumni that have been sending us congratulations messages. The community as a whole. You look at the crowd that we had. It was. I mean, the place was packed, and so the school is really proud of us. We have great support from the staff and the students, and so yeah, we're not really thinking about what's next. We're just enjoying the moment right now.
Absolutely. Well, just one of the guys that you mentioned that I want to get a little bit more into while we have time is Landon Milishowski. I really kind of fell in love with the way that he played.
Yeah, so Lannon's one of our defenders, but he's a very offensive minded type player.
Hmm.
And so this year, he scores some big goals for the team, and he also has a lot of assists. He has 4. I think he's the second leading assist maker on the team. He has 14 assists on the year, and he's a defender, right? I mean, so our leading assist maker is Diego Herrera, who's a midfielder. You expect the midfielders to have assists, but I mean, you don't really expect the defenders to have
Right.
the second most on the list. So Landon, what he also brings to the table is he's our free kick specialist. You look at the Capital game this year where we actually went down a man. We were down 1-0. Unfortunately, we had a hard foul, so they gave us a red card. So we are playing a man down. Well, Landon scored 2 tremendous free kicks in that game to put us up 2-1, and we ended up winning that game.
Hmm.
You could even look back to last season in the final. Landon scored on a free kick against Academy in the 2024 final. So yeah, I mean, great player, and he's a very offensive-minded defender that we have.
And finally, Mateo Surtan, I got to ask you about him, just what he meant to this team, because he kind of in the same realm as Nico Reyes, even though he only had 12 goals, he was still the guy who could score at any time.
So Mateo is one of the guys that he finds himself in the right spot. He covers a lot of ground. He's a slasher. He kind of, what I mean by that is on crosses he'll find his way to get in front of the defender and flick balls on. And yeah, he has scored. I mean, I can't even give a lot of examples because there's so many of them. But I mean, as far as the goals that he scored, all the way back to his sophomore year in the district championship against Highland, he scored a game winner off a corner. But yeah, and then his junior year when we won, or no, sophomore year when we won, he scored a game winner against San Andres in the semifinals. But yeah, he's multiple goals, and then he has a lot of assists as well. What I do want to call to attention for him is, I mean, his leadership. He's one of our captains, and he's been a very vocal leader for the team ever since he was young. And so leaders are, you can I guess make leaders, but I mean some leaders are born, and he's one of those
Right.
that from day one was just very, very comfortable in that role.
Well, Coach Herrera, I want to thank you so much, and congratulations once again on the 4A boys state title, and we will definitely be talking to you down the road.
Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it.
AJ Herrera, the head coach at St. Pius, the Class 4A boys champions here on the Steve Davis Show. We'll come back with more in a moment.
Balsetta looking right. Oh, across the middle, intercepted. At about the 45. Rumbling Stumming, and it's the fullback with the interception on the other side. Not easy to bring down in a huge play. Edgar Medetta.
Ben Cook drops back. Runs out of real estate, throws it. Watch out, intercepted! Mac Cash.
Dowell's left. Has a man complete, and it's a touchdown. And Dowell, the sophomore. 22-yard touchdown pass.
Maybe at halftime. Play action pass. Penn Cook throws it. Intercepted. Ryan Gunn.
Gonna go for the three. Here's the kick. Oh, that's good. I can see it from here. That could be a game winner. Wow.
Play action pass. Fires. Gets his receiver. Breaks free. Watch out. This could go all the way. It does. Touchdown. Zach Corona. Plenty of time on the play clock. Pass. Breaking free. Watch out. Here we go. It's a foot race. Touchdown. Manzano. Aiden Erickson.
Melendez to the left, over the outstretched arms of the defender, complete to Lopez. Stays inbound, cuts inside, and it's a touchdown. 33 yards. Melendez to Lopez.
Penn Cook turns around, hands it off to Mitchell. He takes off tackle, untouched once again. Watch out, he's going to go to the end zone. No, he's not. Yes, he is. Lowers the shoulder, and Mitchell takes number 3, Jaleel Dixon, into the end zone with him. And that's going to be a 36-yard touchdown run. Receivers split out one-on-one. Price once again. Oh, the ball gets knocked out of his hands. It's free. This looks like this could be defense picked up. A trail of blockers. See you later. Touchdown, St. Pius. Number 19, Joaquin Aragon.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
And welcome back here to the Steve Davis Show. I'm Scott Galletti filling in for Steve Davis. Special thanks to AJ Herrera, the head coach at St. Pius High School, the boys 4A champions. And we will go over soccer right now. And this past Friday and Saturday, it was a treat at the UNM Soccer Complex. Started out with girls on Friday, then boys on Saturday. And we'll take a look at the results. The girls 3A happened on Friday, and these were all outstanding games. So when you look at girls 3A, it was an outstanding matchup. As you look at it, was 1-0 in favor of the Horsemen, Lady Horsemen over Bosque. I guess I'm still on screen here while I'm doing this. So anyway, 3A Boys Championship. That was on the NFHS network, and it was an outstanding game. And it was an offensive, tough one. Then you look at the 4A as actually that's 3A boys. We'll get to that in a second. 4A girls, it was an overtime game, and it was an outstanding game as the Huskies of Hope Christian defeated Albuquerque Academy 2-1 in overtime. That was a game where Hope Christian, the number 1 seed, led, and then Albuquerque Academy came back with a goal, and Hope Christian would come back and win that game in overtime. It came with 3 minutes to go in the first overtime period. In high school, you go 10-minute overtimes, you switch sides, and then you would go to penalty kicks. After that, no need, as Hope Christian won in the first overtime. And then you go to the 5A Girls Championship, and this one was kind of an easy go for El Dorado, 2-0 over Rio Rancho. El Dorado with their defense just keeping a handle on things in the attacking third and keeping Rio Rancho, for the most part, in their own zone. So it was one of those situations where Rio Rancho had a couple of chances, but for the most part, it was mostly the El Dorado Golden Eagles as they won another blue trophy in soccer. So congratulations go to El Dorado. We go to 3A boys soccer, and there you see the score there. Santa Fe Prep winning 3-2 on penalty kicks, and that was a tough one for Santa Fe Prep. 2-2 was the score in regulation. They end up winning the blue trophy. Then we go to 4A for soccer, and this was a good one as we just talked to AJ Herrera, the head coach. It was 2-0 in favor of the St. Pius Sartans over their arch rival, the defending champions from a year ago, Albuquerque Academy. 2-0 was the final score of that one. And then the 5A, it was La Cueva just getting past Rio Rancho, and that was a 1-0 score as La Cueva wins another blue trophy. So congratulations to everybody who won a blue trophy this season. And now we go to football. And by the way, you're going to want to keep in touch with the NFHS Network this week for volleyball as well. But football, a lot to talk about. We'll start off with the results. In 2A, you had Navajo Prep over Jal. And there you look at all the results here. Loving defeating Estancia in a 44-40 thriller. And then you go to 3A as you go down the ladder, and Robertson with a big victory over Hatch Valley, and then Nimmi over Wingate, Hot Springs a win, and Ruidoso upsetting West Las Vegas on the road. Go to 4A now for football. The results here this past weekend, and you had Bernalillo just getting past Manzano, Albuquerque Academy, they defeated Valencia, Moriarty over Portales, and Grants defeating Silver. And then in 5A, it was Highland over Mayfield. That was a big win for Highland. Goddard defeated Deming. Gadsden got past Capital, and Berlin beat Valley. So that was a big win for them, and that was 5A. And then you look at 6A, Los Lunas over Piedra Vista in a close one, 28-24. La Cueva beat El Dorado. That was a 41-7 score. Carlsbad over Rio Rancho, 35-13. Yeah, Volcano Vista just getting past Cibola, 14-10. So that was a close one as well. So now the results are in. Now you look forward to this week, and we will start with 2A for the schedule here. And I am having trouble reading this on the screen with me on camera, but we're going to do our best here. Navajo Prep against Texaco, and then you got a couple other games coming up. As now we will move, so we will be able to see it on screen with me. Thought maybe we were just going to see the graphic, but Raton at Hozo Academy, both those games will be Saturday. And then Santa Rosa, they are on the road against Eunice. That's a Saturday. And then at Bernalillo High School, it'll be Loving taking on Legacy Academy, who has really come on and make things happen in high school football. Now we go to 3A, and 3A should be pretty good as well. Robertson, big win last week. They're on the road against St. Michael's. That's Saturday at 1. Then you got Nimmi against Milwaukee Valley. That'll be a Friday game. That'll be 6 o'clock. Hot Springs is on the road against Hope Christian. That'll be at Wilson Stadium. That'll be Friday night at 6 o'clock. And then you got Ruidoso against number 2 Dexter on the road, and that'll be Saturday at 1. So that's 3A. Let's look at 4A now as we roll through the playoffs. Bernalillo on the road against number 1 Bloomfield. That'll be a tough one. Saturday at 1. Albuquerque Academy will play at number 4 Taos. That's Friday at 7. The other game Friday at 7. Moriarty at Chaparral. And then at Community Stadium, it'll be St. Pius hosting Grants. Look at 5A, and this should be a lot of fun. Highland at number 1 Artesia. That's going to be a tough one. Artesia, the Bulldog goal, that will be packed, so it's going to be a hostile environment for Highland, but we'll see what they can do. That'll be Saturday at 2. Other games Saturday at 1 will be Goddard, number 5 seed against number 4 Lovington, number 6 Gadsden against number 3 Los Alamos, and then Belen is at number 2 Roswell, and that will be at the Wool Bowl. That'll be Friday night at 7 o'clock. So a lot of good games, a lot of good teams playing, and I'll tell you what, Artesia, Lovington, Los Alamos, and Roswell, they're all, just chomping at the bit to keep things going here. And Goddard, kind of the sleeper at the number 5 seed, so watch out for them as well. And 6A, a lot of good games coming up here in the second week of the playoffs. Los Lunas is at number 1 seed Las Cruces. That'll be Friday night at the Field of Dreams at 7. And then you've got a game on Saturday, also at the Field of Dreams. This will be Centennial taking on La Cueva. So that should be a fun one as well. La Cueva number 5, Centennial number 4. Number 11, Carlsbad is at number 3, Hobbs. So Carlsbad making a statement last week, beating Rio Rancho, and they are going to be on the road at 7 o'clock. Volcano Vista, the 7 seed, at number 2, Cleveland. That'll be Friday night at Cleveland High School in Rio Rancho, and that should be a good one. A couple of district mates going at it again. So it's going to be a very interesting ride. But you look at this 6A and who's left, and you got Las Cruces. They've got to be the favorite, but Cleveland, don't sleep on them as they are defending champions. So a lot of people will say Cleveland is the favorite, but this year something is special about Las Cruces, undefeated so far. Then you look at Centennial, they're a team that's been making a lot of noise, and they are very good. And Hobbs, a team that has been kind of the surprise team. And it's kind of funny to say surprise when you talk about Hobbs, because they've always been a good high school team, but they are kind of back on the football scene. Some of the dark horses, Los Lunas, I don't know if they have enough to get past Las Cruces, but they will decide that this week. Then you got La Cueva. They don't have the firepower that they had a year ago and the year before that when they won the title, but they are still very tough. You got Carlsbad, a team that went on the road and upset Rio Rancho, so you don't know what they're going to bring to Hobbs. And then Volcano Vista, they're always a team that has enough to win. They just haven't been able to get over the hump, and they're going to give Cleveland their best here this weekend, but Cleveland, they want to get back to the championship, so it's going to be a very, very heavy load for Volcano Vista to go into Cleveland and steal a victory there. But that will just about do it here for the Steve Davis Show. Want to thank everyone involved. AJ Herrera, the boys' head soccer coach for St. Pius, he was our guest. And AJ Herrera, part of and the head man for the Class 4A boys champions at St. Pius as they defeated their rival Albuquerque Academy, and that was a big game for them. I'm Scott Coletti filling in for Steve Davis. Thank you very much for watching. Aaron Rivera, our producer, great job on his part, and we will talk to you down the road. Thank you for watching here on the Steve Davis Show.